Hey folks, good evening and welcome to one more interesting session from the Margdarshika series. I'm your host Shekhar. Please confirm if you guys can hear me. Hello and welcome to the Margdarshika series. And today we have a special talk. Topic of today is how to prepare a strong resume and a strong cover letter, right? So, hello Sujal and hello everybody. Please quickly confirm in chat if you guys can hear me, see me, so that we can jump into the session, right? Okay. So, before I get started with this session, as always, you know the drill. I want to know which part of the country you are from and what exactly is your educational qualification. This will help me customize this particular session according to your needs, and that way I will be able to answer all your questions in a better way. Okay, so everybody, please type down in the chat box what exactly is your qualification and which city you are from. Okay, now while you guys are typing, let me start today's session by telling you about wisdom. You know, according to Swami Vivekanand, we he said when somebody asked what there are how many types of gyan is there in this world, he said one is bookish knowledge, which is called as kitabi gyan, or and another is vyavaharik gyan, which is behavior knowledge, right? So he divided knowledge into two parts. Now today's session is about the vyavaharik gyan, behavioral knowledge, which will help you succeed. The bookish knowledge can help you get a degree, but the behavioral knowledge, the knowledge which is not in the books, will help you grow, right? So, hi Geeta, and thank you so much for joining. Sujal is from Pune, okay, and BSc Biotech second year. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sujal, for joining. Now, today's session, we're going to talk in detail about creating a strong resume and a strong cover letter. But before that, let us understand why do we need a cover letter? Why do we need a CV, right, or a resume? So, hi Lakshmi, hi Mithun. So, what happens now? Whenever you want to go for a movie, before that, what do you do? Just try to recall. You look for the trailer. In old days, you look for the poster, right? So, the poster or the trailer or some kind of advertisement, right? So, basically, a trailer or a poster of the movie is the advertisement of the movie, right? Which you are seeing. Based on the advertisement, you will decide whether you're going to watch the movie or you're not going to watch the movie, right? But a movie is an investment of a few thousand rupees or a few hundred rupees, depending on which theater you choose. But when an employer is planning to hire you, they're going to invest lakhs of rupees in you, right? So they always want a movie which has a strong trailer, a strong poster, right? So your cover letter is the poster and your CV or resume is the trailer. Okay, I hope this is clear to everybody. Okay, Anu, hello. Jennifer Rahman, welcome from Shillong. Wow, that's nice. MSc Biochemistry. Hi, Rahul, welcome back. So, like I said to you guys, if we look at our cover letter, that's the poster, and the CV or the resume is our trailer. Now, based on these two data points, the employer will decide whether they should interview you or not. But now there is a twist because so many people, okay, so many people today are having the information. For example, Biotechnica has around 40 lakh people across the globe as subscribers. So the moment we inform you about an internship or a job, there will be thousands of people who will apply, correct? Because at any point in time, thousands of people are looking for a job. So in that case, how do you stand out from those 1,000 or 10,000 people? That is very, very important. Okay. Now, if you guys follow Biotechnica very closely, which I'm sure you do, that's how you are here, you must have seen an advertisement, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. It was Colgate Palmolive internship, right? I think today also there was a Thermo Fisher internship, right? You should know this, that within 5 hours of launching this internship vacancy on Biotechnica, it got closed. You can imagine how many people applied, right? And that is where you have to know that on one hand, you have to be really alert. The moment a job is posted, you will have to apply. But how do you apply also matters, not just applying. Okay. If you just keep applying and you are not getting results, the end result will be you will be frustrated, which I'm sure you don't want to be. Correct? Now, today's session is going to be very, very important for all of you. Okay. I'll just give you an example of how important my sessions are. Okay. So let me show you this particular screenshot. I hope you guys can see it on your screen. A few minutes ago, right now it's 7 o'clock, right? Around 6:43 p.m., one of our student Rajendra sent this screenshot. Sent this message to me. I hope you can see it, right? Can you see this screenshot? Correct? You can see that. What he says that he watched one of my CRISPR videos. Based on that information, he went ahead and presented in a seminar, and he got the first prize, right? So let me show you the second part of this particular image. You can see it, I guess, this side, right? This side is the first image, and this side is the second image, right? You can see that these videos which we make, or these sessions which we are conducting, are highly valuable for everybody out there. So please make notes, try to understand what we are trying to learn here. And of course, this knowledge is not written anywhere in the books. And that is where this is all behavioral science. This is all knowledge which will help you grow further in your life. Okay. Okay. Hi, Komal. Completed MSc Life Sciences. What would be right for me? Definitely, I'll answer that question and in the later part of today's session. Anu, MSc Biotechnology, Chennai. Wonderful. That's very near to me. Okay. Kareem, MSc Microbiology. Wonderful. Kareem, where are you from? All right. So the first session. Okay. Well, Lord. Okay. The first point which I want to make in this session today is you have to know that in between you and the employer, earlier there used to be a HR department, which was a human. But now there is another firewall before the HR department. We call it as applicant tracking system. What we call it as? ATS, which is applicant tracking system. Let me just type it here for all of you so that we can display it on the screen also, right? So as you can see it here, applicant tracking system, right? Can you see that? Yeah. Now, even before your CV reaches the human resource department, it reaches the applicant tracking system. Now, what really happens there? The applicant tracking system will store your CV for future use. That's the first step it will do. Second step it will do is it will look for keywords in your curriculum vitae, CV, or resume, right? Now, that means the design of the CV no longer matters. Okay, the design of the CV no longer matters. What matters is the keywords. Okay, is it clear, everybody? Hi, Preeta and Mithun. Welcome from NIT Durgapur. Wonderful. MSc Biotechnology, Bangalore. Well, wonderful. So, guys, here we are. The point number one, which I said, even before your CV or cover letter reaches this HR, there is an applicant tracking system. But hey, that's something which we know. Now, this applicant tracking system is using artificial intelligence to find out what are the keywords in your cover letter as well as resume. Based on that, it will profile you. Okay, and it will match the keywords of your CV with the keywords in the job description. If there is a high match, the chances are both will show up early. Okay, so as soon as the HR goes into the applicant tracking system and wants to look for a CV, the most matching ones will show up first. So if you are not optimizing your CV for applicant tracking system, that's a crime. Okay, so what's a crime? Everybody type in the chat box. Not optimizing CV according to ATS is crime. Okay. Shall I type this here? Let me do that. Not optimizing CV as per ATS is a crime. Okay, that's the first point. And if you are not doing it, start doing it. And how do you do it? We'll be discussing all that in this session. Okay. Now, that's the second point which I made. The first was ATS. The second was optimize your CV according to ATS. Now, the third thing, there are still many companies who don't use ATS. Okay, so big companies are using ATS. Smaller startups are not using ATS, right? But what they're using, they're using Gmail. They'll just ask you to send an email, right? But Gmail also has a relevance factor. If they search, if your CV comes up first, so Gmail is also more or less a applicant tracking system, right? So even your CV has to have the keywords, whether they are using ATS or whether they are not using ATS, they will be using Google Mail, and that is where if your CV is optimized for search, you will get it. Okay, so that's my third point. Now let's look at this. Even if your CV has all the things, where it will fail, ATS has picked it up. So now the HR is reading it. Let us assume that your CV is being read by the HR, correct? Now, that is where cover letter is very, very important. Okay. What is important here, guys? Cover letter, if it is of not of good English, okay, then definitely you're going to get rejected. Even though your CV is optimized for ATS, English should be perfect, right? So cover letter must be customized, okay, according to the job description. Okay, if you can't optimize the CV, at least the cover letter must be optimized as per the job description. And what does it mean now? This means that you can't just go ahead and write anything. Okay, you have to write it in such a way. Suppose it's a cancer biology research project, so you have to write why you are passionate about it, why does it excite to work there, what are the latest things which you know, what are the skill set, what are the benefits you will bring to the table if you are hired. These things should be there in the cover letter, correct? So the key takeaway here is the cover letter is a human aspect of your job. Your cover letter should also have the keywords, that's also there. Plus, it will be read by a human even after the ATS is picking it up. Okay, that is where, right? That is where, guys, you have to make sure that the cover letter is properly formatted and drafted. Make sense now? Okay. Now, what happens next? That is very, very important. Okay. The point here is I'm going to give you another 10 points till now, whatever I gave you, I think 3 or 4 points. The first point now we'll jump into the CV designing. So I told you about the cover letter. Let's jump into the CV designing. The first point for the CV designing is make sure you are highlighting relevant education and experience, right? Now, if you have a master's, everybody else has a master's. Okay, let's say it. I'm wearing a white shirt. You're also wearing a white shirt. Whole world is wearing a white shirt today. Suppose, right? So everybody looks the same, right? And that is where the problem begins. Don't just highlight that you have done masters. If there is a relevance that you have this particular skill set which will match with them, okay, highlight that. Now there are 2 to 3 skill sets which will be required for every job, so you must have that: communication skills, interpersonal skills, team spirit, and team work skills, right? So that you have to do some kind of courses or something which you can highlight. So that is something which will be needed in any of the jobs. Now apart from that, if you have a chromatography technique skill set which you have a certification done or a internship done and the job demands that, highlight that. Okay, if there is a demand for gene editing CRISPR, you have that, highlight that. And that is the reason you should have a lot of words in your pocket and skill set in your pocket. Okay, so what are those? What are the words? The skill sets are the words, the keywords, right? Lot of keywords in your CV and lot of skill set in your profile. Okay, Bioinstrumentation. Yes, Ashutosh, you can add bioinstrumentation also. So while you are designing your CV, the first point is highlight relevant education, not irrelevant education. If you highlight MSc biochemistry, if it's not a biochemistry job, it's not going to work. How your biochemistry skill will be helpful, that the technical person will be interested to know. So that should be in the cover letter, that should be highlighted in the your CV. Now, the second one, tailor your resume according to the job description. You did that for cover letter. Now you have to do it for the job description. Now, what is tailoring? Like nowadays, we can go to a shop and we can buy ready-made clothes, right? But ready-made clothes don't fit in the way tailor-made clothes fit in, right? The same way. Everybody is sending generic CV. What you have to do? You have to tailor make it. Look at all the keywords which you have in that particular job. Okay, look at all the keywords which you have in that particular job, and now use those keywords in your CV if there is any relevance. For example, the job demands you that you should have relevant experience in cancer biology, and you have done some project or some internship or some certification which is in cancer biology. Highlight that in your skill set, and if you don't have it, do that. Okay, that also something which you should know. Is it clear, everybody? Okay. Now, let me look at some comments which is coming. What is the future next to MSc Botany? So, MSc Botany is a core skill, core biology, right? If MSc Botany, if I have to say, it's a core biology. So, what happens in core biology? You need to switch to applied biology. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult. You will only be eligible for government job if you're doing core biology. If you do applied biology, you'll be eligible for industry as well as academia as well as research any part of the world. So that is where it comes, Tanuj. I hope this answers your question. Thank you so much for asking. Right now, let's come back to what we were discussing. Tailor make your resume. Everybody is clear with this? Okay. The third one, quantify your achievements. Right. So suppose you have published three papers, right? So don't just write the name of the papers. Nobody's really interested in that. Before you do that, you have to mention published three papers. So that means quantification in high impact journals and then name the journals. And below that, you can mention the list of papers which you have published. So what happens? You're quantifying. For example, you went in and participated in a conference as and you won a first prize. So you have to mention that participated in several conferences. No, you have to mention participated in 5 conferences and won the gold medal for 3 times straight, something like that. So which is quantifiable, because the HR wants to push this CV to the technical scientist. He cannot do that unless he has some groundwork, right? So he's going to create a brief about you. And that brief will be these things, quantifiable things, right? Or maybe citations. You have 15 citations of your paper, mention that. Okay. So quantify your achievements. Okay. Some questions coming in. Sujal, can I go into the industry after BSc Biotech for job? Yes, you can, but the salary will be lower, and at the same time, you will have lesser growth opportunities. That is the problem. Okay, but yes, you can go. There are companies like Anthem Biosciences, Biocon, Syngene in Bangalore. There are many pharma companies also who are hiring bachelors, but you may remain stuck at that level for a longer time if you are not going for a higher job. Okay, higher degree. Next question is from Vicky Burman. But when we are applying for 3 4 jobs as a fresher, how to design our CV which fits in all criteria? Very good question, Vicky Burman. Now let me answer that question. So what is experience for a fresher? When you don't have experience, you have 4 things which you can do: certifications, internships, hands-on training, and workshops. Okay, and or participate in conferences. The 4 to 5 things you can do, and that experience can be counted. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Vicky. But on the top of it, it should be latest. It should not be like you did 5 years ago. You have to keep doing, right, something you did recently, so that when they will call you for interview, because they're going to ask you question, you should be updated with all that knowledge. So updating the knowledge is very very important. I'll tell you a story today. Only I was talking to my faculty experts at Biotechnica, and they told me, sir, It's been like 10 years we finished our PhD. Let's have a complete upskilling only for Biotechnica experts. We said, okay, why not do it? So we invited some scientists from Pfizer and foreign companies like Thermo Fisher. And we said, okay, let's train our existing experts. So training, retraining, upskilling, reskilling, cross-skilling goes on throughout your life. This is how biotech industry works. Coming to Tanuj's question, with core botany, can we go in research field? Yes, you can go, my dear friend, but then you are limiting yourself. Okay, you have to do some cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary research. Okay, Tanuj, that is the key here. See, if you are a botanist, okay, so you get a botanist job. But when you are an applied biologist, your dimensions are open. You can get any type of job, right? Now, let me give you an example. If you are a botanist, you will only get an assistant professor in botany job. But if you also have bioinformatics knowledge, if you also have biochemistry knowledge, molecular biology knowledge, then you become a complete scientist. Wherever you will go, you will be respected, you will be welcomed. Okay, so you all have to build a T-shaped personality. One particular field where you have in-depth knowledge and broad knowledge in multiple fields. Okay, so that's something which should help you, Tanush. Let's come to Saurav. Okay, a lot of questions coming in. I'm glad a lot of questions are coming in. Saurav, MTech Biotechnology in VIT Vellore is a good option. Saurav, yes, it is a good option. VIT Vellore, no doubt, is a very good college. I have been there. I have met the faculties there. Highly knowledgeable, highly intellectual people. But you have to make sure that you use the infrastructure there. They have excellent infrastructure. You have to use that. Placement in VIT Vellore, I cannot comment on that. As far as I know, there is no such placement happening in biotech companies from VIT Vellore. Last I checked, but maybe it has changed. When I checked, it was 10 years ago. It has changed now. I have no idea about it, so I cannot comment. So yes, that's something which you will have to check internally with the existing students over there. Shraddha, I gave VITP exam, expected I qualified, which is best company for job. So, Shraddha, there are multiple companies where you can apply. Let's look into that a little later. I'll answer your question at the end. Okay. Anand, welcome back. I was expecting you today. How are you? I'm good and interacting with you after a long time. It was always nice to interact with you. Yes, Anand, it is always a pleasure to interact with you. And thank you so much for joining. Kavya, after MSc Biotechnology, I have a long gap in my career. Do you suggest me to go with bioinformatics? I think that's a great idea because then you can switch. You have the MSc in biotechnology, which is a specialization, and then you create the broader uh, knowledge of bioinformatics, and now you apply that bioinformatics into your biotech research, and you can grow. Now, there are five things which you have to do: do some internship, do some certification, do some attend some conferences, do some hands-on. Okay, take up some projects. Okay, these are five things you should do. Okay, Kavya. Sir, how to do offline internship? Sujal, we are posting a lot of offline internship. Just yesterday there was Colgate Palmolive. Today there is Thermo Fisher. So many companies are posting on Biotechnica. We are also conducting a lot of internship. You can always apply there. Okay. I'll send you the link, Sujal, of this. What we can do is, let me see if I can send the link right now. Otherwise, you guys can mail me. I'll give you the link of the internship page. Okay. How can you suggest me what to do after integrated MSc Biotechnology? So, Kavya, I'm thinking that you've done BSc and then you continued your MSc, right? So that's a 5-year course you did. So after MSc Biotechnology, I will suggest you take up some projects, okay, temporary contractual projects. And at the same time, if you have plans for PhD, do it. If you don't have plans for PhD, look for jobs. Okay. And Biotechnica is the best platform where you can look for jobs. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Kavya. Now, if you guys allow me, let me come back to today's topic, which is CV and cover letter designing. Okay. Now, the next point is highlight relevant skills, right? So, what are the relevant skills? So, I'll ask you a question. Suppose there is a job vacancy. Okay. Suppose it is in Biocon, right? And suppose they are looking for a person who has knowledge of HPLC, right? So, what kind of relevant skills you require? Tell me. Obviously, you need HPLC, correct? Now, people will think, okay, if I jump in and do HPLC, hands-on, so they'll hire me. No. During the interview, they will not ask you to go and demonstrate how you will run a HPLC. They'll ask you for the theoretical knowledge. They may show you some data interpretation questions, some data they'll throw at you and ask you to interpret, right, related to HPLC. And that is how, okay, that is how they will judge you. So it is not very important to only have hands-on. You need to have solid theoretical skills, solid theoretical knowledge. Of course, you need hands-on, and then you need data interpretation skills. These are the three part of any technique which any industry demands. Okay. Uh, you guys can continue asking your questions. I'm going to answer that. Okay, don't worry. But let me finish what I have started. Otherwise, this will become a confusing session. Let me finish what I have started. Okay. Now, the next one is use keywords. I think I told you in the beginning also. Now, let me highlight why using keywords is important. Do you know, in the beginning of the session, I told you ATS, applicant tracking system. But do you know the largest applicant tracking system in this world is LinkedIn, right? Because people can look for skill set, people can look for scientists or researchers who have relevant skill set by just going in the search bar of LinkedIn and searching for you. So if you have the right keywords, then only it will show up in the search result higher than your other job seekers, right? And also, whenever you're looking for a job, please use that label which they have, looking for a job. Okay, so that is where. So LinkedIn or anywhere, please use the relevant keywords, right? Use the right keywords. Now, if you have, say, cancer biology knowledge, don't use only the cancer biology broad term. Use other hashtags also. For example, something like tumor, TNF alpha you can use, so that when somebody is searching for that also, your CV pops up. Okay, so whether it is LinkedIn or ATS, use the right keywords. It is going to do the magic. Okay, now next one is include a summary or objective statement. Now, what is that? So it has to be in the beginning of the uh, CV. You write something like enthusiastic professional looking for something, right? So I'm going to give you some examples also about this towards the end. Let me just pull out some examples for all of you. So what I mean to say here is, imagine that have all the if we have all the knowledge, all the skill set also, if we do not use the right keywords, we will get rejected. Okay, so let me tell you some examples of technical skills also. Okay, and examples of some relevant skill set, okay, which you can use in your summary, right? So you can also mention like in-depth knowledge of XYZ research technique, expertise in XYZ research technique, experience in innovative lab techniques such as XYZ technology. So XYZ is whatever technology you have, right? That's the keyword. Experience in XYZ instruments, including XYZ instruments, something like that. You can also use ability to maintain XYZ instrumentation. You can also mention GLP, good lab manufacturing practices also here. Expertise in technical process of XYZ, varying ranges of research knowledge, including knowledge of XYZ. So these are some technical skills, the way you write. Okay, ability to work and interpret data from XYZ instruments. So these are the titles which you can use. Okay, now let me just quickly pull out some more examples for all of you. Headline examples. For example, what should be the top example of your LinkedIn or your CV? For example, if you're a molecular biologist, so how do you start? You say R&D scientist, molecular biologist, environmental sciences, cross-functional collaborator, enthusiastic functional genomics, sustainable agriculture, scientific writing, and then you can have like yoga enthusiast or a runner, whatever is your passion, right? Or a hobby, that also you can mention. Suppose you are somebody who has a data science knowledge, so you can mention data scientist, then you can add leader, computational biologist, chemist, physicist, and then suppose you have a taekwondo, so you can mention taekwondo black belt. So when you mention these things in your LinkedIn, what happens is when somebody is searching, it will pop up. And if it is an objective statement, it looks nice, right? For example, for me, it will be success coach, entrepreneur, speaker, storyteller. That can be my keywords, right? So that is one thing. Now let me come to the comments which we are getting here. Okay, a lot of comments has come, a lot of chat has come. Let me look into that. um, Nagalambika. So the question is, hi sir, I'm currently working on materials and neuroscience field. Okay, but the work is too slow and I'm not getting proper training and things are going slow. What should I do? You will have to talk to your boss, which could be your project guide or investigator. Speak to them, say that you're not satisfied. I had made a video on toxic lab. Probably you should see that, because what happens is, if the research is slow, probably the other people in the team are working slow, and that is impacting your research, right? So you should accelerate it by talking, and talk in a holistic manner. Talk to the person concerned, that sir, I feel it should be faster. Help me, guide me. How can I, make it faster? I think that should be done. Otherwise, Nagalambika, you drop me an email, detailed email. I will answer that separately. Okay. Saurav Paul, sir, can you tell me about research associate salary structure in Syngene Biocon like company? So it will be very difficult to tell you at this juncture what will be the salary, but range I can tell you, it ranges in between 4,80,000 goes up to uh, I think 10 lakhs, based basis of your experience and expertise and their demands. So minimum I have seen is around 4.8 lakhs, goes up to 10 lakhs. That's the range. In some exceptional cases, they may offer 3.6 also if you are a fresher, but that's what happens in Biocon. Okay. Okay, there is a comment from Nahid now. Nahid Parveen, welcome Nahid. Is PhD in a private university worth doing, and what's the future scope? It is worth doing. There's no problem with that. But you should target IITs and ISC. If you are not getting it, I think uh, colleges like MIT, SRM, BIT, DY Patil, they're very good colleges. These colleges, I have personally interacted with the faculties and people. Even in Bangalore, you have IBAB, you have Garden City University, and you have Christ University. These are good universities from where you can do your PhD. I'm not sure from where you're doing it, Nahid, but if you do it from a government institution, that will be I would say recommended. Okay, Ankit, welcome back. Good evening. After a long time, we're meeting. Rahul, how to gain theoretical knowledge of any techniques? It's very simple. Attend workshops, seminars, webinars, online, offline, wherever it is. And if you're not getting it, contact Biotechnica. You can always request our experts. If we feel that it should be done, we will do it. Okay. So that is something which you should do, Rahul. Theoretical knowledge is very important. In the interview, they're going to ask you there. They're going to, give you twisted questions based on your theoretical knowledge. And if you're able to answer, they know that hands-on can be taught. What cannot be taught is theoretical knowledge. Okay, because they don't have time. They're busy people. One thing you all have to know about industry. Industry is busy people. They want to make a lot of money for the company. They have internal targets. They don't have time to train you. So that is why they want people who have already got the enough training. Okay. All right, Sujal. Sir, as industry is highlighted the job description, but suppose I have the job description knowledge, like I have an online course on that, but I don't have any offline hands-on skills. So how to do that? Good question, Sujal. So first thing, even if you don't have hands-on, you don't need to mention that you did an online course or offline course. The knowledge matters, right? Which mode you did does not matter. That's point number one. The point number two is, if you don't have it, you can check Biotechnica. We post a lot of contractual JRF, SRF posts, temporary project assistant and research assistant posts. You can apply there. You can get hands on. Okay, you really don't need to go and pay somewhere to do hands on. If you can do that, yes, I think Foresight Biotech in Noida, Azyme Biosciences in Bangalore. You have various other companies like Genotypic, where you can do hands on also. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Okay. Okay, a lot of questions coming in. The name is Infinity, right? Can you please upload one cover letter CV for life science students, because example is required to understand. Yes, Infinity, that is important. What I can do is, whoever wants a sample, drop me an email and I will send across. Okay, I hope you know my email ID. Okay, what is the email ID to contact you? That's the next question. So yeah, let me answer that by typing my email ID here. I think everybody in Biotechnica knows it. If you don't know, no problem. Here it is. My email ID is shekhar at biotechnica.org. As soon as you send me an email, you'll get an auto response with a ticket ID. But that is just to keep a track so that I don't miss out on any of your emails. But definitely, I'll reply to you. Generally, it takes up to from 0 hours to 7 days. So I may reply within minutes if it requires just a one line reply. If it requires a bigger reply, then I'll reply maximum 7 days, minimum 0 days. I can. But if you've not got a reply within 7 days, you can just reply to that mail as gentle reminder, and I will definitely look into that. And all the replies are done by me. There's nobody who helps me. I do it myself. I write it myself. And the best time to email me is morning 4 o'clock. That's the time I reply the most. Okay. All right. Let's come back to the question we had. Right. Okay, I think we will run out of time. So can you guys permit me to go ahead and finish what we have started? Okay. So include a summary and objective statement. We've talked it. Now keep it concise. Many people have this habit. They'll keep talking, talking, talking. Big paragraph, right? Don't. It has to be short. It has to be a summary, but it should be filled with keywords. So keep it concise. Don't write paragraphs together. Don't write 3,000 words. They're expecting you to finish your cover letter in not less than or not more than 200 to 250 words. Okay. And your CV should not cross more than 2 pages. One is sufficient. Okay. If it is two, okay. If you're going more than two, I think you are overdoing it. That's not required. Okay. So that's about keeping it concise. Next one, proofread carefully. You have to read your CV, look for spelling mistakes. What if CRISPR you wrote wrong and now the ATS doesn't recognize it, right? So the keywords must be right. Okay, there should not be a spelling mistake. You can use any of the, you know, spelling checking softwares like Grammarly, and that should help you. Okay. Now, this is where comes to the next part. Show your enthusiasm. Where? In your cover letter. Okay. Whenever you're starting a cover letter, show your enthusiasm. Why you are interested in this job? Why you must get this job? What are the relevant skills you have? How you are going to be a asset to the company if you are hired? These are the things you have to mention, right? And then finally conclude that you are eagerly waiting for a response. Um, Kindly go through my CV, and I am confident that you will be, I'll be an asset to your organization. Something like that you have to mention in your cover letter. Write it carefully, draft it carefully, and if you can't, learn English, improve your English so that you yourself write it. Okay. Don't ask somebody else to do your CV or cover letter, because eventually you have to get the job, no one else, right? So, Mohit, I have answered your question. Now let's come to the question part. Okay. So, JK World, sir, I have completed MTech Biotechnology. Wonderful. Help me in approaching for interviews, sir. I tried through LinkedIn, Indeed, Naukri too. Okay. So, I'm assuming your name is not JK World. It should be something. So, let me know in the comments what's your name. So, I'll address you as JK World. The point here is you've done MTech in biotechnology, right? Look at your CV today and look at the keywords you're using, right? And now look for jobs for those keywords. That's one way. The second way is look for all the jobs posted in last 1 month in Biotechnica, LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, wherever it is. Okay, indeed. And look for the keywords they are using. Are they matching? If yes, then move to the next. What I can suggest you is if you can email me your CV, I will have a look into it and I'll suggest you what changes you should make. Because right now, this is a public platform. I cannot ask you to share your CV and then I'll look into it and then I will reply. So it will be difficult. I'll share my email ID. Please send a mail to me. I will look into your CV and suggest. Okay. Now, Neeraj, please explain the difference between research associate and research executive in companies like Biocon. So it depends. Now, this is very important here. Research associate and research executive, there won't be much difference as such, prima facie, but they may decide it. For example, many companies will use different terms. For example, we don't use at Biotechnica, we don't use the word employee, we use growth partners, right? The same way. So every company has their own way of defining it. You'll have to look into the job description to find out the difference. At this juncture, I cannot tell you that, okay, research associate is going to be same as research executive. Depends on the company. Every company, it has a difference. Okay. So that's answer to Neeraj. Grace Jesus, what are the best postdoc or assistant professor? What are the best? Okay, in between postdoc or assistant professor, can you say? So, assuming that you're asking a comparison, I would suggest always, whenever you are going for any academia job, first achieve the highest academic position or degree. which can be PhD or postdoc, so that later on you should not, regret that I'm not getting promotions because I don't have a postdoc, right? So always, if you're planning for academia, do a postdoc and then switch. That's better. And if you're doing your postdoc, like you can do your PhD from India, postdoc from abroad for 2 to 5 years, and then come back, use the Ramalinga Swami Reentry Fellowship. That will help you get great jobs in some big academic colleges and universities, and of course, the salary will be very, very high. So that's a trick which many people use, Grace. Okay. Next question is from Mohit. Can you have live stream so that we can interact and ask questions from you, even if it's subscription based? Nice one, Mohit. We can do that. We can have a Zoom conversation where you can unmute your mic and ask. I think that will be better. We used to do that in Ask Me Anything sessions, but we had discontinued because of my busy schedule. We can bring back Ask Me Anything sessions where we can do that. Okay, Mohit, where you can. So it'll be on Zoom, so you can directly unmute your mic and ask me. Okay. Now, for everyone else, whoever wants to email me, this is my email ID. Right. Okay. So Mohit, I'm from Delhi, very confused and overwhelmed about finding internships and also finding about writing cover letter or for CV. I don't have enough lab skills. What should I do? Mohit, what I will suggest is drop me your CV. I'll look into it and I'll suggest, because here it will be difficult. Drop me a mail. I'll guide you. Okay. Sir, I have seen lots of people saying that biotech have no scope. Also, due to that, many students get disappointed. So, how to ignore that and go on with full enthusiasm? Sujal and everybody, this is the most important question asked in today's session. You are being bombarded with a lot of such misinformation. Okay. And this misinformation is from disappointed people who are not trying enough. If you try enough, you're going to make it. Okay. If you have any doubts, you go to LinkedIn, okay, and look at the Biocon page or the Syngene page or the Pfizer page or the Novartis page and see how many, or Dr. Reddy's. Every week they'll post who all got hired and they'll congratulate. And you go and check their profile, there would be people like you, right? So if there are companies who are posting this, nobody's looking at that. But when you look at all this negative comments, always negativity penetrates faster in our mind than positivity. This is a thumb rule. This is how human behavior works, right? Let me see if I can pull out something here. So Dr. Reddy's suppose posted. So you can go into Dr. Reddy's LinkedIn profile and check, okay, Dr. Reddy's posted these many, hired these many people, right? So this is very important for you. Otherwise, you will keep thinking that, hey, nobody is hiring, but that's not the truth, correct? So that's something which you have to remember, that negativity is not the answer to achievement. Okay, listening to negative people, disappointed people, and frustrated people is not going to help you. Opinions are the cheapest commodity in this world. Anybody can frame an opinion and go and blurt out their frustration in the comment section of any YouTube video. If you read that, you're not going to grow. Growth comes when you hustle. Growth comes when you combine technology, efforts, and strategy. That's how you achieve growth. That's how you grow in your career, right? And as I speak, I'm just looking at some posts from Dr. Reddy's or something where they would have posted this, that we have hired these many people. Or maybe I can just share that in the social media as a proof that, see, so many people are getting hired, right? So that's something which you all have to know. Please don't get demotivated there. People get jobs in biotech sector. If you go and look into computer science also, there are many people who will say that. Okay, there are many people in mechanical engineering who will say that. There are many people in civil engineering who will say that. Okay, so please don't get frustrated there. Okay, Mohit is asking, is there any Facebook group we have? Wait, no, Mohit, we don't have a Facebook group. We have a Telegram group where you can, comment. We do have a Facebook group, but I'm not active there. So I'm very active in Telegram or the WhatsApp group, so you can always come there. Okay. Okay. Jaya Sahitya. Hi, Jaya. Thank you so much. So mail me your CVs, Jaya, and I will look into that. Alone Theatre. I'm not sure, your name should not be Alone Theatre. Whatever is your name, let me know in the comment section. Which one is better, BSc degree or BSc honors in biotechnology? There's no much difference. I don't foresee any difference, but yeah, people say BSc honors, but it's one and the same thing, right? I don't see, because anyways, it's a paper degree. It's of no use. The BScs or the MScs are of no use. What skill set you learn is of use. Okay. Sujal, sir, as you said there that there after BSc I can go in industry, but you said the growth will hamper. But how instead of doing MSc, I'll get 2 years of experience, a lot of knowledge of MSc fellow. So yeah, once you take up a job, you cannot go to your MSc days, right? So it's better to finish off education and then start your, get onto the job treadmill, because once you are into the job treadmill, you cannot go back to the education treadmill. That's the first thing. Now, 2 years of experience, a lot of knowledge is there, but when the promotion thing comes, they have benchmarks, right? You as a BSc cannot never compete with a PhD, right? So the kind of jobs a PhD will get will be scientist. What jobs you will get is a production, right? Manufacturing and production, formulation development, QA, QC, but you will never get the research position, right? As a biotechnologist or a bioscientist, life science student, you should target the research position, because in research position you generate IP. The more IP you generate, the more you will be valuable to the company. Suppose you are into formulation and development, you are doing the stuff, but tomorrow robots can replace you, right? That is the point I want to make. Okay, Sujal, I hope that answers the question. So even though you have experience, tomorrow artificially intelligent robot can replace you in formulation and development, but if you are a scientist, you cannot be replaced. Okay. All right. So Kavya, which field is better for job, industry or research or academic? Okay, if you're asking me, I would always take up research. Okay. But there are three things I'm going to tell you. If you're looking for a comfortable job, go for academic. If you're looking to make a lot of money, get into industry. Okay. But you have to keep hustling hard, that's for sure. But if you want to become the best scientist and you like that research excites you, research is a passion, get into research. So that's very simple, right? But the money side of it is in industry, comfort side of it is in academia. Now coming to government jobs and private jobs, we have done a discussion in on one of our videos that should answer you. Please look at that. Okay. Okay, Sujal, I'm preparing for MSc in trends, so can you guide me in short how to manage coaching along with college? Practicals and a lot of stuff, so please guide me. I get demotivated easily by doing preparation. Sujal, since this particular question is a different topic apart from what we are discussing today, what I can suggest you is you have my email ID, drop me a mail and I'll guide you. That's the first. And the second thing is we have done a video on this, how to manage your studies while you are in college and you are managing your studies. So that should help you. Look out on our YouTube channel or drop me email. I'll send you that link as well. Okay. In short, if you want to ask me, it's all productivity. It's all about productivity, how you manage your time. Because you all, me as well as you, get $24 every day. How you use that $24 makes all the difference, right? As a student or as a professional or as a Mukesh Ambani, everybody's getting $24, 24 hours. How you use it, that matters. So, instead of getting demotivated, chalk out a plan, action plan, and work on it consistently. And you need productivity. That's simple. That simple as that. Okay. Komal, what to do after MSc Life Science? It's very confusing. There are multiple things you can do. You can go for PhD, you can go for a job, you can go for academia, you can get into government, you can go for temporary SRF, JRF jobs, you can become a teacher, multiple things you can do. But one thing you should never do is procrastinate, worry, fear, self doubt. Okay. Instead, go ahead and drop me a mail. I'll guide you personally. Okay, Komal. So that's that. Okay. Mohit has a question. How much money I can make in biotechnology sector? There are comments that I'll make very less money in biotechnology, especially in India. Want to follow the passion, but I also need to have money. Of course, Mohit. So here are a few things I'll tell you. The first thing, how much money you'll make depends on what profession you choose. Whether you want to become an entrepreneur, whether you want to become an employee, whether you want to stay into academia, whether you want to go into industry. There are so many questions which has to answer, right? Now, coming to the field, if you become an entrepreneur, a lot of money you can make, but of course that money won't stay with you. It will go to the employees obviously and the company. Coming to the second part, if you think that as an employee you cannot make a lot of money, let me tell you, ITC is a big research company, biotech company in today's India, and they are giving a package, starting package of, I think, 20 lakhs to the scientist. That's a starting package, and it goes up to a crore in annual salary. And they, on the top of it, they give a lot of perks, like all the ITC products for free. Okay, these kind of perks they give. So you can imagine. So Mohit, there's a lot of money which can be made, but for the right person. You need to have the right patents. You need to be able to commercialize your research, and you need to choose what profession you will be in future. Okay, so Mohit, don't listen to the naysayers. People said no to me. I don't think I would have listened, and the same advice I am telling you, don't listen to such negativity. Okay, Preeta, majority of the places in all biotech companies are looking for people with experience, so please suggest any startup companies in Bangalore. So, Preeta, I can suggest you a lot of companies in Bangalore. Okay, Genotypic Technologies, and I think three or four companies are there. Drop me a mail. I'll give you a list also of companies in Bangalore. So now let's look at, okay, what kind of jobs they're looking for as a fresher. You should know one secret, and that secret is many startups prefer freshers over experienced people because freshers come with a fresh approach to a problem. Okay, the only thing is you need to have the right skill set, right mindset, uh, right approach to problem solving, teamwork, communication skills. Okay, these are the five things which you require, and definitely you can get in. If you want a list of colleges, Preeta, drop me a mail. I will guide you. Okay, okay, a lot of questions coming in quickly. I have last 10 minutes, guys. So whatever questions you want to ask, you have 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, Mutano, yeah, I'm not sure what that's your name. How can I do research in MSc Biotech? You can choose, you can do a lot of temporary projects in various government labs. Okay, that's where you can get in, or you can do internship as well. Arjun, what should include as experience for candidate who cleared back papers some year after academic year end? What about the gap? How should we prepare attractive CV by minimizing these drawbacks? So while there is a drop, you should do some internships, some projects, okay, and that's how you can cover that gap. And in fact, I should tell you this that the industry is not bothered that you had a back. Industry is bothered how much knowledge you have, right? So if you're thinking that I have a back paper, so people will not hire me, no, it's not like that. People love out of the box people, okay? So by having a gap year, you have out of the box, more experience than others. The theoretical knowledge will be more than others, actually, right? So you can always cover it with internships, projects, and paper publications and stuff like that. But don't underestimate yourself that you had a gap paper. Instead, you should show it and say that I know more than others, right? Okay, Ravina. Good evening, Ravina. After completing master's degree in biotechnology, which is better, research associate job or PhD? If you ask me, I would prefer PhD over research associate job, but depends on what is your economic situation. If you want to take up a job because there is a need for a job, do it. Okay, there's no problem. Many people do this. They take up a job and prepare for PhD, and since that also is possible. They do the job in the morning time, in the daytime, in the evening. They'll prepare with Biotechnica's working professional batch. They do that. So yeah, that is possible. But if you ask me, I would have preferred PhD, but that's my personal opinion. Why? Because after PhD, it's easier to get hired. After MSc, if you're getting hired, so that experience of 5 years and a PhD with 1 year experience, PhDs will be given a preference. So that's where I would suggest you should do that. Okay. Now, does industry do campus selection in IITs for life sciences? Yes, they do. Okay. Yes, they do. And in fact, you should know this more than IITs, they hire from regular colleges. Okay, they don't go for the IITs also. Yeah, for some scientific position they do, but for formulation development, QC, they'll hire regular people from Biotechnica. They'll hire. So that's perfectly fine. Sujal has a question again. How will biotech students will be known that is technical trend is going on in the industry? How to prepare for that? Because biotech technical knowledge is very huge. Right, Sujal. So the best way to do that is to follow Biotechnica. Let me give you an example. So um, I just now showed this and this. You can see this. So Rajendra is one of our student. Okay, he has also qualified CSI net, and recently he went and became a speaker in a seminar and won the first prize, right? And if you see here the screenshot, okay, let me just remove this banner. If you see the screenshot here, you can see what says. He got to know about CRISPR from Biotechnica, right? He learned that, right? The same thing you can do if you want to stay up to date. You have a blessing, that's Biotechnica. We keep updating you with a lot of knowledge, a lot of infographics, a lot of information on our website, in our Telegram app, as well as our WhatsApp group and announcement group. So you can join there. Okay. Now, if in case you have not joined our Telegram group, let me see if I can just show that to you. Yeah, it's not there here. Let me just type. It's t.me/biotechnica. So first you have to type, biotechnic. First you have to install the Telegram app, and then you have to type t.me/biotechnica in the Chrome browser. It will open, and you should join here. That is where all the updation will happen about latest in the industry as well as the trends. Okay. So okay, where was I? How to make research? Okay, I think I have answered something before that. No. Okay. And second, where was I? Is there any chance of ear gap? Okay. Is there any chance for ear gap candidate? Of course, there is. Ravina, because moreover, PhD hardly takes 4 to 5 years in India, and after completion of degree, we entered in research and development department, so it's the same experience. No, Ravina. See, there's something which you should know. After MSc, when you have 4 to 5 years of experience, that's not equivalent to PhD. Okay, always PhD will get a preference and they'll get promoted. So that is something which you should not limit yourself to. If you can't do it, no problem. But if you can do it, please do it. Okay. How to make research interest, make interest in research. I'm reading papers and all, but not getting interest in research. So how to do? So Sujal, you have to start with research news, not research papers, and identify what's your passion. And that passionate, whatever subject you're passionate about, that research paper you should study, not any random paper. Okay. Okay, alone theatre. What are the skills we should acquire while pursuing bachelor's degree? 5 interpersonal skills and unlimited technical skills as much as you can. Be a sponge. Grab as much you can. Right. Be a sponge. Absorb as much as you can. But 5 interpersonal skills, communication skills. Okay. Um, then your interpersonal skills. You need to have the right um, team player skills, and all this is required. And then the technical skills, I think I have a list I can share with all of you. Let me see if I have it right now here, if I could do that. Okay, I cannot share it here, but I will have to send you a email. So anybody wants a technical skill list, I can share that. Okay, so yeah, that can be done, right? Sir, how to start my own biotech company? Ankit, you can refer to our bio entrepreneurship workshop recording. That will give you a lot of idea on this. It's in Biotechnica store. Okay. Ravina, you're welcome. Mohit, how should I prepare for competitive exams with college because of less time and due to less energy due to college hectic schedule? I've started my IIT jam preparation. Please guide. Mohit, the first thing you have to know is productivity. Okay. Your college is organization which is created to waste your time. That's true. So if you don't want to waste your time, you have to identify the time gaps and use it wisely. What I can suggest to you is drop me a mail and I can guide you, but you will have to mention what is the schedule you have in college and how you are right now preparing so that I can advise you further. Okay. So with this, we come to an end of our session. Two last points which I wanted to make is never ever forget to follow up after applying. So maybe you applied today, after a week, drop my mail, sir. I was really enthusiastic in joining your company. Would it be possible to provide me update? That's one thing you can do. Okay, and of course, be enthusiastic throughout, whether it is your interview or whether it is your CV or cover letter. Okay, make sure that you're enthusiastic, and remember that you should not demand salary. Instead, you should say, whenever there is a salary negotiation or whenever they ask you how much salary you demand or require, you can always say, I feel that the company has already set a benchmark and I'm ready to go by that. Okay, you can always say that. Okay. All right. Question from Arjun. Last question for the day. How far India in biotech now and lab facilities here? The entire industry constitutes only 4% of the entire world business. Okay, that's 4%. IIT Delhi Masters in Biotechnology. It's there. Neetu, can zoology students got any industrial work opportunity? Yes, you can by doing research in applied biosciences. Okay, so that's all for now today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in, and let me type down my email ID. Okay, whatever may be your query, whatever challenges you're facing, I'm right here to guide you. This is my email ID. I have mentioned in the chat box also. Go ahead, ask me a question. I will reply as soon as possible. Share the problems that you face on a day-to-day basis. And please, if you're not a part of the Telegram group, please become a part of our Telegram group. This is t.me/biotechnica. Okay, it's very simple. Just install the Telegram app and go and type this in your Chrome browser, t.me/biotechnica. You will get there. Subscribe to our channel, which is where all the actions related to biosciences happens. Thank you so much for joining in and tuning in for this particular Margdarshika series. It was fun interacting with all of you. I hope you learned something new and be in touch. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.